In this video, I'm going to show you how you can design your own clean, professional-looking Shopify store in under 1 hour without any complicated code or anything like that. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and jump over to my computer and jump right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so we're inside my computer and we are going to go ahead and get started with this Shopify website design tutorial. Now, I would recommend that you go ahead and follow along with this video side by side. It's going to be a lot easier. So if you want to do that, you can click the first link in the description to go ahead and be brought to this page right here where you can just go ahead and start your 14-day Shopify free trial. So go ahead and click the first link in the description to start your Shopify free trial, and let's get started with building your store. So we're going to take you through step by step without any coding or any complicated BS, and I'm going to try and simplify everything as much as possible. And if you find this video helpful, just be sure to leave it a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel. So with that said, let's get started. So once you've went ahead and opened up Shopify here, all you have to do is enter your email and we can go ahead and sign up. So you can go ahead and enter a business email here and then click start your free trial, and then you're just going to have to create a password and then you can put in your store name. Now it doesn't really matter what you put here just because we can go back and change it later anyway, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to be using a cookie shop for the example web design here. So I'll just go ahead and say that our store name is Jake's Cookie Shop, and I'll go ahead and click create your store, and it's going to go ahead and prompt us with this message showing us that it's creating our store. So we just have to go ahead and wait a couple of seconds here, and then we are going to be good to go. And once this next screen loads up, it's going to go ahead and ask us a few questions here. So it really doesn't matter what you answer for these questions. So I'm going to just select I'm just playing around, and then I'm going to go ahead and not check any of these because I'm going to show you how to do this anyway. And what is your current revenue? Just getting started. Which industry? It really doesn't matter what you put in here, but I'll go ahead and just select food and drink since this example store is going to be for a cookie shop. So I'm going to click next, and then now I'm going to go ahead and put in the information right here. So I'm going to go ahead and enter my name and address real quick, and we'll be right back in a second. Alright, so I went ahead and entered some information. Obviously this is not my real information, and once you've done this, you just go ahead and click enter my store, and we are going to be good to go, and we are about to be able to start customizing our site as soon as this loads up. Alright, so now that we've went ahead and started our store right here, we can see this is going to be our back end right here for our store. This is the our Shopify admin panel. It's pretty easy to use, and I'm going to be walking you through pretty much every part of this step by step. So we're going to be going through it pretty slowly so that way you can keep up with everything. So what we're going to go ahead and do first is, before we get into the actual website design and adding products, we just need to do a couple things as far as store settings goes. So we're going to take care of this first. So we're going to come down here and click on settings, and we're just going to edit some of these settings here really quickly. So first we're going to click on general. And then once we're in here, what we can do here is we can see our store details. So this is where we could change our store name if we wanted to. So that's why I said earlier it doesn't really matter. So we can come in here and we'll see that we have our store contact email here. So this is what Shopify uses to contact us with notifications regarding our store. So, like sales notifications and things like that. And then this is our customer email. So this is the emails that our customers will see, and this is what we're going to be using as our customer support. So you wouldn't want this to be like your personal email. You would want this to be like support@yoursite.com. And if you don't have a support email, that's fine. That's something that you can create later on, but this is where you would put it. And then you have your store address here. So if you have a physical address, you can put that in here. And then you can go ahead and we can edit our time zone right here for the standards and formats. And then right here we can put a order ID for our store. So normally you can just put the initials of your store. So we could just put like JCS. So all this means is this is just going to be the letters that show up before the order number on our invoices and in our order tracking and stuff like that. So you don't have to do this, but it's something you can do if you want it to be a little bit more personalized. And then down here is our store currency. So whatever is the main currency you're going to be using, you select that. Then we click save. And we are going to go ahead and head back into settings. And now we're going to go into payments. So inside payments, there's two main ones that you're going to definitely want to use. So the first one's going to be Shopify payments here. So this is how we can go ahead and accept credit cards. So we can see that Shopify payments lets us accept all of these different cards right here. So Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, JCB, Diners Club, Shop Pay, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. So setting this up is really easy. If we just click complete account setup, you're going to be brought in here and you can choose whether you're an individual or sole proprietor or whether you have like a corporation or an LLC. And then you enter your business information here, or if you're an individual, you just go ahead and enter your personal information here and you go ahead and fill this out and describe what you're selling, and then enter the banking information where you want your payouts to go, and then click complete account setup. Now, because this is a example store, I'm not actually going to fill out this information, but this is something that you should definitely go ahead and do right now. It takes a couple seconds. And then the next thing we want to do right here is set up PayPal Express checkout. So this lets people check out through PayPal as well. So if you already have a PayPal account with the email that you signed up with, then you can go ahead and just activate that and it will automatically sync the two. It will sync your current PayPal account with this store. And if you don't, you can go ahead and complete the account setup with this email right here. So once you have those two setups, you can also use Amazon Pay if you want, and then there's other types of payment methods you can look into. However, these first two and maybe Amazon as well would be the main ones you want to worry about. The rest aren't going to be as common. So we're going to go back to settings. And now I'm going to just look at checkout really quickly. So checkout here, we can see customer accounts. We can choose if we want our customers to be able to create accounts when they check out. So normally you at least want them to at least be optional. So you don't want to have to require accounts. You want people to be able to check out as guests, but we do want people to be able to create accounts if they want to. So we have optional right here. And then we have customer contact to check out. So they can either enter their phone number or their email address when they're checking out. You can keep that right there. And then to receive shipping updates, they can download the shop app from their order status page, or you can check right here that customers can choose to add a phone number or email to receive shipping updates after they complete their order. So I'm going to go ahead and check that as well, so they have more options. And then right here we can go down to form options, and normally I'm going to select require first and last name, and then company name. I don't normally keep that hidden unless you're doing B2B. If you're doing business to business, then yeah, you probably want to make that at least optional. And then address line 2 optional, because that's like apartment unit. And then shipping address number is hidden. So as far as tipping goes, we can show tipping options at checkout. So this is more so if you are in an industry that tipping is customary, you can go ahead and check this to go ahead and let customers tip. And then we can come down here to order processing, and we're going to keep all of these checked. And then we're going to go down here to where it says after an order has been paid, and we are going to keep it do not automatically fulfill any of the order's line items. And then after an order has been fulfilled and paid, we're going to keep that as automatically archive the order. And then for email marketing, we're going to show a sign up option at checkout, and we're also going to pre-select the sign up option. So we're going to go ahead and click save. And now we're going to go back, and we're almost done with the initial settings, and we're just about to get started with the design here. So just one more quick section here. So we're going to go down in here to shipping and delivery. And this is where you can manage your shipping settings. Now these are going to be different depending on the type of products you're selling. If you're a local business with local delivery, you can manage your local delivery options here. Or if you are a business that's shipping worldwide, you can manage your different rates right here as far as shipping labels go. You can go ahead and manage different delivery methods right here up top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to go ahead and create a shipping rate. So I'm assuming that most people watching this video are probably going to be selling something that's online that can be shipped worldwide. But like I said, depending on whether you're doing local, maybe you're just like a local restaurant or something, maybe you would want to set up local delivery, or it's all going to vary depending on the type of store you're setting up. But I'll show you quickly how to mess with the shipping right here. So if I go to manage rates, we can go ahead and open this up here, and we can see that we have a bunch of different US rates that are kind of automatically filled in here. And we could, if these rates didn't fit with the type of shipping we wanted to offer, we could go ahead and create our own by saying add rate, and we could set up our own. And let's say that I just wanted to create a free shipping option. I could put in free shipping with a price of 0, click add, and then if you click on add conditions, you can put in different conditions. So let's say I wanted to have free shipping based on order price, so minimum order of $50. So free shipping on orders $50 and above. I could click done, and we've created a free shipping right there. So there's a lot of different ways that you can create shipping rates, and I actually have like a 15-minute tutorial showing you how you can mess around with a bunch of different shipping rates and stuff like that, and I will link that full-length tutorial in the description, as I don't want this video to end up being like 2-3 hours long, as the primary purpose of this video is going to be the design itself. So I'm going to go ahead and click save here, and then that's going to be it for the general settings. So these 4 are going to be the most important ones that we're going to be looking at. So once we've set these up, we're going to come over here to online store, and now we're going to get started with actually designing the store. So I would recommend that before you start designing the store, that you get a few design preparations in place. So a few of these things are going to be like an image backlog, a bit of content, a logo, and then have a color scheme in mind. So if you already have a pre-existing business, then you probably already have a lot of stuff like this. So you have images of your product, you have a logo, you have like content, for example, that you want to put on like about pages and product pages and things like that. And if you don't have these things, like let's say you don't have a logo right now, you can go over here to logomaker.com, so like logomaker.com, and you can create free logos on here. You can just type in something like cookie, and you can grab one here, and you can like drag, move it, and then click add text, and you can just put something like this on there, and you can create logos on here. So you can, if you don't have a logo, then you can go ahead and mess around using Logo Maker to go ahead and create one. And if you don't have any like stock images or any images to put into your website design, then you can go to pixabay.com, and you can go ahead and search your niche of products that you're related to. So if it's cookies, you can just look up like cookies, and then you can look for different images that would look good in your store design. Now, for the sake of this tutorial, I already have all of the design preparations ready in a folder. So I have a folder with the image backlog, the logo, and color scheme already. So I would recommend doing that ahead of time. So just get 5 or 6 photos. The more the better that you can use in your store design. Have your logo ready and everything like that, because a lot of the design is going to be based around our logo and our color scheme. So once we have these design preparations, what we're going to do here is we're going to go down here to Shopify Theme Store and click Visit Theme Store, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at some themes. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on all themes, and you can see that we can see all of the 73 themes right here. Now, when it comes to picking a theme, it depends on, once again, what you're selling, the type of products you have. So it depends on the type of vibe you're going for with the site. Now, a lot of Shopify themes can fit a lot of different products, but, there is, different preferentials that some people have. They like certain themes that fit better with certain products versus others. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm going to go to free, and we're going to be using debut theme right here. So that's the theme that just comes with the store by default, and I'm going to be using this just because it's going to be the easiest for the tutorial because everyone starts with it, and it looks like it's a pretty good universal theme that fits with a lot of different niches. Now, with that said, if you do choose to go with a different theme, you can still follow along with this tutorial, as when it comes to the design process, all of the functionality is the same within Shopify no matter what theme you're using. So it really doesn't matter what theme you use. It just, what really matters is knowing how to actually edit it and knowing how to do the design from the ground up. So if you want to follow along exactly with me, you can use debut, but if you want to use another theme, you can still follow along the editing process. It's going to be about the same. And to preview these themes, you can just click on them. So let's say I wanted to take a look at narrative. I could click on it, and you can see that some of them have different styles. Like this one has 4. If you click on view demo, you'll see that it loads up right here. So here's like an example of what this theme would look like, and we can change the style right there, and then we can look at it again. And then we can go ahead and click on this to see what it would look like on mobile as well, which is going to be really important. You want to make sure that the theme looks good on desktop and mobile, because a lot of traffic is from mobile nowadays. So we're going to go ahead and move forward with the debut theme in this case. But like I said, if you choose to go with another theme, that's completely fine. You'll still be able to follow along step by step with the video. So now we're going to go ahead and get with customizing our home page. So to do that, we're going to click customize right here. And once this loads up, you're going to see that we are now inside of the Shopify editor. So when it comes to editing our store, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. So we can see we have a blank canvas right here, and pretty much we're just going to get started with filling this stuff in. So the first thing that I am going to do is come over here to the header, and I'm going to click on this, and the first thing we're going to do is upload our logo. So we can go ahead and select the logo image here. So this is where, like I said, you would want to go ahead and have your design preparation content ready to go ahead of time. So we're going to go ahead and click select image right here, and I'm going to go ahead and upload the logo now. So I'm going to come in here and upload this logo really quickly, and then I'm going to click select, and then we can come down here and adjust the logo width. So I'm going to go ahead and make this bigger, and there we go. I think that looks a little bit better. And then right here, we can go ahead and change the menu that shows up right here. We're just going to keep this at the main menu, and I'm going to show you how you can add things to the menu later on. And then right here, we can choose to show an announcement bar. So if I go ahead and click yes, we can see that we have a bar that's going to show up here that we can go ahead and put in an announcement for. So I'm going to go ahead and use this bar, and I'm going to put something in there right now. So in this case, I could put something like this. So depending on what you're selling, you can put whatever type of announcement you want up here. You could put like 50% off for the next week, or you could put, really anything you want up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to have it linked to anything. I'm just going to have it be a message. And what I want to do is I want to change the color of the bar to match our logo. So when it comes to selecting color schemes for your site, you're going to want colors that match with your logo. So typically you're either going to want to have your site based around one color or two colors. So in this case, we're going to keep it simple, and I'm going to keep this site based around just one color, the primary brown right here. So you want to make sure that you have the exact color code from your logo that you're going to use throughout the site. So you can get this one of two ways. So if you have Photoshop or any relevant photo editor, you can go ahead and just open up the logo, and you can use the color picker and select the color you want to use, and open it up and grab this 6-digit code right here and go ahead and copy that, and then come back over here. And if you don't have a photo editor, you can go right here to html-color-codes.info/colors from image, and what you can do is go ahead and upload your image here. So I could go ahead and upload that here, and then click anywhere on it, and then we can see we get the same exact color code right there. So once we have this color code, we want to keep it around because we're going to be using it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and change this bar color now to this shade of brown, and now we can see that that already looks a lot better because it already matches. So now what we can do is edit the text color here. So typically you're going to want just white or black, so you can look and see whether white or black looks better on here. I personally think that, oh, I changed the wrong thing right there. So I personally think the text looks better as white, so I'm going to keep it as white. So as we can see, we went ahead and edited part of our header already really quickly, and it was really simple, and our store is starting to look a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back. Alright, so the next thing we're going to edit right here is going to be this big header image. So all we have to do is click on this first box right here, and we can see that the image right here, we can go ahead and just select an image right here. So what you're going to notice, if we just go back really quick, all of these different blocks on the left side correlate with one of the sections on the theme. So that's why I said no matter what theme you have, it's literally the exact same editing process. So like depending on what theme you have, you'll just have different sections on the side. That's literally the only difference with themes. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up again, and we're going to add an image in right here by clicking select image, and I'm going to go ahead and upload one, and I'm going to go ahead and upload this photo that I specified to use as the home page header. And then I'm going to click select, and then right here we can see we can change the image alignment, so we can make it align to the top. We can make it show the top of the image, the bottom, or the middle, and I'm going to keep it on the middle. And then we can change the layout to full width or fixed width, and in this case I think full width looks better. And then we can change the section height. So the section height here, we can make it really small or we can make it really big. In this case I'm going to keep it at large. Now this is going to be up to personal preference. I think large looks good in this case, and then we can also change the text size, make it medium or make it large. I'm going to keep it at large. So now right here we can see it says heading, so this is where we edit this text up here. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in So I went ahead and put in some text right here. This is where you can put any type of heading text you want. It doesn't have to be, there's no rules here. You can just put, whatever you want here, whether it's a welcome or message or anything like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and put in some text down here as well. So, and then if you want to go ahead and make this text bold, you can highlight it and select bold, or you can unbolden it, or you can italicize it if you want. So I'll go ahead and keep that italicized right there. And then right here we can go ahead and add a button label. So you don't see the button here, but that's because we have nothing on the button label. But if we want to have like a shop button, we can go ahead and just type in what we'd want the button to say. So in this case, I'll put order now, and then I will click on button link, And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to select collections, and then I'm going to put, what I'm going to do is select products rather, and I'm going to select all products. So what this is going to do is create a button that links to all of our products. So now you can see that this looks pretty good, but this button shouldn't be this color. We need it to be this color so that way it blends in with the design language of our site. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back really quick, and before we go to the next step, make sure you come up here and click save, and you want to make sure you save your changes quite often just in case something happens with your internet, you get kicked out, you don't want to lose your progress. So every time you finish a step, definitely make sure you save. So we're going to go over to theme settings now, and the first thing we're going to do is click on colors. So now we can see that our heading and links right here, we can edit the text color for that. So headings and links is going to be what's going to be up top. So we can go ahead and click this here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make this solid black because I think solid black looks better. And then the body text, this is going to be this text right here. I am also going to make this solid black as I think that looks better. And then sale price, this is going to be the color of the text if we have a sale. So in this case, I'll just keep that as red, that's fine. So primary buttons right here, that's going to be these buttons that show up on our store. So I want this to be the same color as this. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and we can see that the brown that we've been using is in our recently selected. So I'm going to go ahead and select that right there, and we can see that that looks a lot better. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is under buttons, we can see primary labels right here. So if I change this, you can see that we are changing the color of the text. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that as white, as we already determined white looks good on this brown color. So what you would do is you would just go ahead and match this to whatever color you picked up here. So now if we go ahead and scroll down, we can see secondary labels and borders. So I'm going to go ahead and just make this black. And then if we come down here to form fields, we just want to confirm that the form fields is black text. And this is for form entry, which you'll see later when we go ahead and make our contact form. We're going to keep these all default. And then we're going to come down here to image overlays. So this is going to be right here. So this is an image overlay because we have an image and then we have text on top of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the text as white. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the background color right here. So as you can see, if I go ahead and change this, you can see that essentially what this is there's an image in the background, and then there's another image on top that's just one solid color, and that's how we can change what color it is right there. And you can tell that it's just one solid color because if we change the opacity and I make it 100%, then we can see that in a second, once it updates, it's just going to be solid red. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it at 40, and I'm going to change the background color to black, as I think that looks a lot better, and I think that makes our white text look a lot better. And then down here at the bottom, if we go here to page, we can see that the borders and lines and the backgrounds are these colors, and we're not going to need to mess with any of that. So we went ahead and edited our colors. So now I'm going to go ahead and go into typography. So in here we can change the font of our store. So we can see we have two different options. We can change the font of our headings. So that's going to be the big text here, and like our product names right here, and our buttons. And then we have our body text, which is going to be like this text right here, like our product descriptions and stuff like that. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and show you some examples. If I go ahead and open up change right here, we can see that it's going to give us a decent amount of fonts we can choose from, and we can go ahead and click load more. So you can go ahead and pick a font that you think fits with your branding. Now I'm going to go ahead and use this font right here for the headings, as I think this type of font seems to fit well with like a restaurant type of vibe. So it fits well with the cookie shop, and we can see that I changed the font right here. So you can see that it changed this font, and it changed the font up here, but it left the paragraph font the same. We can see that it changed this font, but it left this the same.
and you can see it left the prices the same, but it changed the font right there. And I'm going to go ahead and just click select, and then with the body text, if I wanted to change this, I could go in here and change that as well. Now, I would recommend that, especially for body text, that you go ahead and keep this something that's very basic and easy to read. As you can see, that while this may look visually appealing, it's fine because it's on the titles and just product names, but you wouldn't want to read an entire paragraph of text with this font because it would just get annoying. So when it comes to large body text, you're going to want to go ahead and keep using a simple font that's very clear to read. So in this case, I'm going to stick with Helvetica, and I'm going to go ahead and go back now. And the next section we're going to do is social media. So if I go ahead and open this up right here, we're going to keep all of these social sharing options selected. So this just means people can share our stuff on Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest. And right here is where we can add different social accounts, and they will show up on our store. So this is where we put in our social medias if we have them for our store. So I'm going to go ahead and just put in some of my personal accounts here just for the example. So I will put in Twitter and Instagram, and then you can just go ahead and put in as many different social medias as you have right in there. And then we can go ahead and click back. And what I'm going to do now is come here to favicon, and then our favicon is going to be what shows up right up here. So where you see like the little Shopify bag is, this is where we want a custom logo to show up right here. So it's kind of just like a small image of your logo. You don't want it to be any text, you just want it to be a small just logo only. So in this case, I'm just going to use the cookie itself. So I'm going to select an image, I'm going to upload it. So once I upload that image, I'm going to click select right here. And I'm going to go ahead and click save because we've done a lot of different edits. And I'm going to go back. And right now, at this point, we have done all of the different edits we need to do within settings. I'm going to show you the checkout settings later on once we've added products in. Since we don't have products right now, we're not going to mess with checkout yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish up this home page now that we have all of these settings done. So at this point, we're going to finish the rest of these sections the same way that we did our first section. So we can see here we have an image with text, which is going to be right here. And if you notice, if I scroll away and I click on this one, it takes us right back to what we're editing. So you can't get confused with editing the wrong one. So what we're going to go ahead and do here is I'm going to go ahead and add an image in really quickly. So I'm going to upload another one. And then click select. And then we're going to add another heading in here. So let's say I will add this. And then we can go ahead and add another paragraph of text as well. And whatever you put in here, like I said, is going to be custom to your store. So it's going to depend on whatever you want to put in here. I can't tell you exactly what text to put in here, but you just want to make something, pick something that looks good. So we're going to go ahead and go down here. And at this point, just like up here where we added this button, we can add another button right here in the same exact way by just typing in what we want on the button. So we could put order now again and then add another link here. But in this case, I don't want to put another button here, so I'm just going to go ahead and click back. So the next thing I'm going to do right here, we can see that we have these text columns right here. Now in this case, I don't want to use this section for the sake of the example, so this will be a good time to show you how to get rid of a section. So if I open up this section here and I don't want it, I can go ahead and just click remove, and it's gone just like that. And if we want to add a section, I can go in here and click add section, and we can see there is a lot of different options we can choose from. We can add videos, custom content, we can add a map, newsletter, slideshow, we can add anything in here. And if you click it, it will preview what it looks like. So as we go through these different ones, and if we wanted to add it, we could just click add, and then if we want to remove it again, we can just click remove, and it's gone. So for the sake of this video, we're going to stick with these sections right here. I'm going to go ahead and fill these out now. So the next section is going to be the featured collection. So this is going to show our products. Now we don't have any products yet, so it's not going to show up. So I'm not going to be able to select a collection yet. So I'm going to go back and edit this section a little bit later after we've added some products in. So we're going to go ahead and skip down to this section right here, which is just another image with text overlay. So once we open this up, we can go ahead and just select another image. So this is why I said earlier where it's good to have a lot of different images already prepared to go ahead and put into your site, because the more images and content you have, the better. However, you can keep your site really simple. You don't need that many sections. Like I said, we already deleted one section and we're not going to add any more, because you really don't need a super complicated site for it to look good. So within here, we can change the alignment just like before. All of the editing is exactly the same in every single section. Like we can change the text size and the section height just like we could before. And I'm going to keep it on medium. And then we're going to go in here and add some more text. So we can add another button again if we want. In this case, I'm not going to, because it's going to be right below our products. So I'm just going to go ahead and click back. And now we're going to come in here to the testimonials section. So we can go ahead and title this something like, let's say we want it to just say, we could name it like our testimonials. In this case, I'm going to name it what our customers are saying. And then you can go ahead and select this different content right here. And then you can see we can open up the section right here and we can paste in different testimonials we have from customers, and then we can put in their name, and we can close that up, and we can open up another one, and we can put in 3 quick testimonials just like this. So if you don't have any testimonials yet, if you're a brand new business that hasn't sold anything, then you can always just delete this section right here, or you can try and sell your products to maybe some friends or family members and try and get some quick testimonials from them. And just like that, we have put in some testimonials here, and I'm going to click save again because we've done a decent amount of edits. And I'm going to go back, and now we're going to go ahead and fill out the gallery section right here. So the gallery, we can see, is just going to be 3 images right next to each other. So I'm going to go ahead and select an image, and we're going to go ahead and get to uploading these. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one here on the left, and then we can make this link to a certain page if we want by clicking and making it link to one of these pages. But I'm just going to have this gallery here for aesthetic purposes only. I'm not going to have it linked to anything, but we could put something in the captions as if we wanted to as well, and we can see that it would show up right there with with text over the image. In this case, I'm just going to keep the photos there with no captions, as I think that's going to look better. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the second image now. And then we're going to click image down here, and we're going to upload the last image. And I'm going to click select. And you can see that now, once I go ahead and back out of this, I'm going to click save. And we already have a very good looking home page right here. The only part that is missing is going to be this featured collection, which we are going to edit here in a few minutes. After we go ahead and add some products, we're going to come right back here and we are going to fill out this featured collection. So we can see our store is already coming together really well, and it already looks really good. So now at this point, after we've customized our home page. So the next thing we're going to do is create some essential pages. So I'm going to keep these as generic as possible. We're going to create pages that every single store needs. So right now you can see we only have 2 pages. We have our home page and we have our catalog page. So we need to create a few more. So we're going to come back here and click the Shopify bag in the top left. And then under online store, we're going to come down here to pages. So we're in here at pages now, and what we're going to do is just select add page right here. and we're gonna go ahead and add some pages in. So we're gonna be adding in 6 pages really quickly. So what I'm gonna do here really quick is what I want you to do is come down here to settings, right click, and then open this up in a new tab, because we're gonna be needing to take content from 2 separate pages. So the first page we're going to create is going to be called the terms of service, and so we're just going to title it terms of service. And to get the content for this, we're going to come over here to the tab we just opened. So under settings, we're going to click on legal, and when we open this up, we can see that this is going to be the legal pages section, and we can go ahead and create templates for different legal pages. So I'm going to come down here to terms of service and click create from template, and I'm going to go ahead and just copy all of this text, and then I'm going to come back over here to this page, paste it in, and click save. And just like that, we now have a terms of service page set up, and every store needs to have a terms of service. So what I'm going to do now is click create another page, and what we're going to create next is the privacy policy. So I'm going to call it that, and I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to go to privacy policy, and I'm going to click create from template, and I'm going to copy all of this text, and then I'm going to come back over here and paste it in, and then click save. And just like that, we have a privacy policy and a terms of service page. So I'm going to click create another page, and this one's going to be the refund policy. And I'm going to come over here and create that from a template as well. Now this one, you're going to have to edit a little bit yourself. Now it depends on the policy you want to offer, so I'm going to paste this in here. So this is a good template to start out with, but depending on the type of products you're selling and just the type of refund and return policy you want to have, you may want to edit this to custom suit your store. So I would recommend that you definitely read through this and edit this to make it fit your store, to make sure that you're offering the refund policy that you want to. So we're going to go ahead and click save on that. And we've created 3 pages, and we just need to go ahead and create 3 more really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and click create another page, and the next one we're going to create is going to be a contact page. So I'm just going to call it contact us, and what we can do is come down here to template, and we can select a template for this page, and I'm going to make it page.contact, and I'm going to click save really quick. And what we can do is if we click view page right here, you can see that we now have a contact form already created just by making this a page.contact template page. And whenever somebody enters their information on here and sends us a message, what it's going to do is it's going to be sent to the customer support email that we saw in the settings section from earlier. And we can go ahead and add a couple more things to the contact page if we wanted to. Like, let's say we wanted to add a phone number. We could go ahead and put text right here. And if I put this text in and I click save it, what we'll do here in a second is once I click view page again, we will be able to see that any text we put in this box actually shows up over here above the contact us page. So if you want any custom text here, like you can put in your store hours here. If you have hours, if you're a local business, you can put in your address. If you're a local business, you can go ahead and put maybe even like a image of where you are of Google Maps right here by clicking right here, insert image, and you can put anything like that right above contact. So now that we've created contact page, we've just got 2 more pages to go. So I'm going to go back to pages here, and I'm going to click add page again, and this one's going to be about us. So the about us page is going to vary depending on the type of store you have. So what you want to do is just essentially tell people, who you are, what you sell, what your business is, why your business is around, and things like that. So you could put in stuff like who you are, what your business is, why you started. You could put in a section like meet the team. So if you have a team, you could put like a picture of you or like different team members on here, and then like each team member could like introduce themselves. You know, you could be like, hey, I'm Jake, the owner, blah blah blah, and then you could have like your manager come on and be like, hey, I'm Mary, the manager, and whatever, and then they put in like a little bio of them. Those are just different ideas that you can put in the About Us page. This is definitely a page you don't want to ignore. It's not something that you want to like half-ass and then you have one sentence in there, because the more legit your About Us page looks, the more legitimate your business and presence is going to look. So people are going to feel more comfortable for when it comes to buying. So in this case, I'm not going to type out a full About Us page because it's just going to add too much time to the video, as we're already closing in on an hour. So I'm just going to save, but I would definitely recommend spending a good amount of time on your About Us page. You can go ahead and use these different things. Another one you could add in is like company mission. You can use these different things as ideas to go ahead and put in your template. So the last thing we need to do now is create one more page. If we go back here, add page, this one's going to be FAQs. So FAQs is going to be frequently asked questions. So what I'm going to do is there's pretty much two ways we can do this. We can do this with an app, which I will show you at the end of the video when we go over apps, or we can create one ourselves. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create one yourself. So first thing I want to do here is also, I'm going to show you a little bit how to use, this would be a good time to show you how to use the editor a little bit more in depth. So right here inside of content, if I click on formatting, we can add in different headings. So let's say I want to add in like a heading 2, and I will call it frequently asked questions. And then I can hit enter down here, and let's say I want to have the questions be in bold. So like, what are your hours? And then like I could put something like a Q in front of it, and then we could hit enter, and then I could unbold, and we could put the answer: we are open 9 to 5, 7 days a week. And you could just go ahead and use this exact template right here. This is one easy FAQ template you can use, where you just have the question in bold and then the answer below it in not bold. And as far as the different questions that you want to go ahead and put in, you just want to put in questions. You have to kind of brainstorm this a little bit. You just want to put in questions that you think you would ask if you were a customer. So things like your hours, returns, shipping, any questions that have to do with that, delivery times, customer support, different types of things like that. And if you've already been in business for a while, think about all of the questions that you would normally get and try and answer them right here. You could go ahead, and the longer you have your store open, the more customer support inquiries you're going to get, and you're going to start to see patterns emerge. So the more of the same questions you get, you want to go ahead and try and answer those in the FAQ, because the more questions that are answered on the FAQ page, the more time and money you're going to save dealing with customer support. So this is another page you definitely want to spend a decent amount of time on it. Spend like 30 minutes or so trying to fill this out with as many different questions and answers as possible. I'm not going to do this for this video because obviously it's going to be unique to each store, and plus don't want the video to be 15 hours long, because you're probably going to die by that point. So we're going to just go ahead and go back to pages again, and we can see that we've went ahead and created 6 different pages, and this is going to be good for now. So what we're going to do now is head over to navigation, and we're going to put these pages inside of a menu. So we can see that right here in navigation we have 2 different types of menus. We have the footer menu and the header menu. So the main menu right here is going to be what shows up on the top of the store. The footer menu is going to be what shows up in the footer of the store. So the first thing I'm going to do is just click on footer menu, and normally in the footer menu you're going to add the pages of lesser importance that people aren't going to look at very often. So I'm going to click add menu item right here, and we can click on the name to go ahead and name it, or we can just, it's easier to just select link right here, and then we can click on pages and we can pick one of our pre-existing pages. So normally things like the privacy policy, the refund policy, and the terms of service, we're going to throw in the footer menu because it's something that people aren't going to look at that often. So once we select the link, it's going to auto-populate the text. We click add, and then we're just going to go ahead and add more. So I'm going to add these in really quickly. And once we've added these in, I'm going to click save right now. And just like that, we've went ahead and added to our menu. So I'm going to go ahead and click back. And now we're going to edit the main menu really quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it's the same process for the main menu. I'm going to click add menu item. And this is where we're going to add our other pages. So I'm going to add the FAQs. And then I'm going to add the contact us. And I'm going to add the about us, and I'm going to click save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click right here on this eyeball, and that's going to open up our online store. We're going to take a look, and we can see that now here in the menu up top we have FAQs, contact us, and about us in our menu up top. And if we go down to the bottom, we can see we have privacy policy, refund policy, and terms of service down at the bottom. So we can see our store is already looking really good and just under an hour. And if we click these links, they actually work. So everything is ready to go. So one thing that I want to show you with the navigation quickly before we move on is how to create like a drop down. So it's pretty easy. So let's say you wanted the contact us section to be a drop down under the about. You could go ahead and drag it below it. So I would take this, drag it down below, and then drag it to the right, and we can see that now it is a drop down. And then if I click save really quick and I come over here and I refresh, we can see that now if I hover over about us and click on it, we can open it up and we can see that now contact us is part of the drop down. So that's how you can create drop down menus. So it's pretty easy. In this case, I don't want that to be a drop down, so I'm going to put that back up there, and I'm going to save that menu just like that. So now at this point, we have went ahead and created menus, so we're making a lot of progress really fast. And the next thing we're going to look at here is we're just going to go ahead and finish up with all of these sections on their online store, and then we're going to move on to products. So the next thing we're going to look at really quickly is blog post. So blog post, if you click on create a blog post, it's exactly the same as how you can edit the pages before. All of this formatting is the same here, so you could come in here, put in sample title, then you could have sample paragraph text, and then you could come in here and like insert an image or insert a video. So I could like insert an image from our store, or we could go ahead and upload another file. So let's say I just went ahead and like inserted an image, and we can go ahead and mess around with different things like that, and we can make a featured image for the blog post as well. So I'm not going to spend too much time on blog post, as this is pretty much the same as the editing process for the other pages. You just go ahead and give it a title. You format your text like you would any type of article. You can insert images and you can insert videos. So it's pretty basic within blog post. So the next section we're going to look at here on this side is going to be domains. So domains are going to be really important because you definitely don't want a domain that ends in .myshopify.com, because that looks stupid and unprofessional. So we definitely want to go ahead and not have this domain. So this is where we can buy a new domain. So all you have to do is click buy domain, and you can enter the domain name that you want to buy right here. So you would just enter your store name, and you ideally want to make sure that the .com is available, because that's the most common one. And then you can go ahead through the process and buy the domain. It's really easy, and you can renew it through Shopify, and it's like $13 a year. So it's not too bad. I'm obviously not going to buy a domain right here for the example video, but that's how you do it. There's no real tutorial necessary for that. It's just really simple to go through there. And then the last section on their online store here is preferences. So this is where we can edit our title and meta description. So if you're not sure what this is, if we go over here to Google and I type in Amazon, we can see that this right here is the title and meta description. So this part right here is the title right there. So that's what we put right here. And then this down here, this smaller text down here, is the meta description. So that's what we would put right here. So the title, we would just put we could just put like our store name and then like a slogan. And then our meta description could be just a quick description of our products or services. So come get some. So I'm not gonna actually type in something longer than this, just because I don't want the video to go on too long, because I think we're already at about an hour. But you definitely would just type in like a sentence or two right here, because it's what's going to show up right there. So you can see like Amazon puts like free delivery on millions of items with Prime, low prices. So you kind of just want to put something similar like that, just a brief description of what's going on right here. And then we have our social sharing image. So when people share our site, this is the image that's going to show up. So it's normally just going to stick with our logo, which is fine. And then down here with Google Analytics, this is where we paste in our Google Analytics code. So I'm not going to be going over that in this video, but I do already have a video on setting up Google Analytics. So I'll link that in the description. And same with the Facebook pixel. This is where you put your Facebook pixel if you're going to be advertising on Facebook. You definitely want to set up your Google Analytics and your Facebook pixel ID right away. But like I said, I already have separate videos showing you how to do that, so I'll link those in the description. And then lastly right here, this is where we can disable our password, which we can do by picking a plan, which we're going to get to at the end of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and click save, and now we are going to move on to products. So 1 hour in, and we're finally going to add a product to our online store. Who would have thought? So if we come over here to the top left, we can click on products. So right here, we can go ahead and add a product. Now, there's 3 main ways that you're going to be adding products. So you can either add products one at a time manually, which is what I'm going to be showing you today, or you can add products via CSV, which you can do by clicking the import button up here, which means if you have like a ton of different products, like hundreds, then you're not going to want to add those one at a time, because that would take too long, and by the time you actually get the products uploaded, you might not even be alive. So you definitely would want to make sure that you bulk upload your products if you have a lot. But in this case, I'm going to be showing you how to manually upload them. So let's just say you only have a few. And the other way that you'd be adding products in is through like a third-party app if you were doing like drop shipping or something like that. But we're going to go ahead and add a product in right now. So the product is relatively similar to the pages. So we can go ahead and just put in the title of the product. So in this case, I'll put like 1 dozen. One dozen chocolate chip cookies. So we put the title of our product, and then we can go ahead and put a description of our product as well. So the description, you typically want it to be pretty long, like, like with the theme of most of this video. I'm not going to fill it out completely because it would take too long and we'd be here for 7 hours and you'd probably fall asleep. So we're going to go ahead and just stick with this sentence, but I would recommend that you go ahead and actually put out a well thought out product description with a lot of detail. And I actually have a separate video that's solely dedicated to making product descriptions, which I will link in the description as well. And at this point, the description is going to have more video links than YouTube itself. So just keep that in mind when you're digging through all those links. So this is where we can put our product description. Editing it is exactly the same as the pages as far as the formatting goes. We can insert images and everything. And then here's where we're going to put our product photos. I'm going to click add file. So this is going to be the chocolate chip cookies. So I'm going to go ahead and put a picture of the product here. And then over here we can go ahead and put in some details about our product. So we can put our product type. So in this case, it's a cookie. and we can go ahead and add our product to a collection. So in this case, I'm going to add it to the homepage collection, and I'm going to show you how to manually edit collections right after we add some products in. But this is where we can add products to different collections. Collections are essentially just a way to group together related products. They're really useful. We can add in different vendors. If you have different vendors, a lot of the time your store is going to just be one vendor, so you don't even have to mess with this. But if you do have different vendors, you can specify that here. And then tags. So tags, you definitely want to put tags in here because this is going to help with, especially if you have a large inventory of products, people that are searching for different products, or the search is going to show up based on like tags. So in this case, we're just going to tag it cookies, and then like chocolate chip. So put in any relevant tags you can to your product, and then down here we can add the pricing. So let's say in this case I'm going to put $12.99, and right now and then right here next to it we can put the compare at price. So this is essentially just if you want to create a sale. So actually really quick, I'll just show you what this would look like. So if I just click save really quick on this current product, I'm going to go ahead and click preview really quickly. It's going to open up this link. So we can see that it's priced at $12.99. But if I come down here and put the compare at price at say $14.99, and I click save, and then I come over here and refresh this preview, we can see that now that creates a sale. So we can see that here's the sale, red sale text we saw earlier, and we can see that it creates a sale right there. So that's how you create sales. You just put like the original price and the compare at, and then you put the price that you want the sale to be at right here. Now I would recommend that you don't overuse sales, and that you don't just have everything in your store showing as 90% off all the time, because like people aren't that stupid. So like they know that like a store is kind of fishy if 100% of the items are literally 90% off the entire time. Like that type of stuff like doesn't work. Like we're not selling to like 10-year-olds here. So you just want to make sure that you use sales like strategically. You don't just want everything to be 90% off all the time. You're not pricing like you're going bankrupt tomorrow. So that's how you create sales. And then down here, cost per item. So this is kind of just for your benefit. So you don't have to put anything here, but you can put something in here. So let's say it costs me like $4 to make a dozen cookies. Then we can see all this does is it just shows our margin we make on each sale. So it shows we have a 69% profit margin right there. It's a pretty solid number. And we can see that we have an $8.99 profit per sale that we make. So you don't have to put this in, but it is nice to be able to see your margins right here. And then here we can go ahead and put in our custom SKUs if you have them, or you can make your own. And you can go ahead and put in barcodes if you have these as well. And then you can choose to track quantity if you want or not. So cookies are made to order, so I'm not gonna keep track of how much we have. But let's say you do have an inventory and you only have like 50, then you can go ahead and just put in like 50, and then Shopify would track that you have 50 available, and once you've sold through 50, it would show that you're out of stock, and then you can go ahead and click continue selling when out of stock if you want to keep taking orders when out of stock. So whether or not you use quantity tracking is going to vary depending on what you sell. And then right here with shipping, you can choose it's a digital product, you can uncheck that. If it's a physical product, you can go ahead and put in the shipping information right here, so how much it weighs, and then the country of origin, so that would be like the United States. And then down here you can also add in variants. So if I click this right here, this is where we can add in variants. So let's say you're selling something like shirts. You could have different sizes. You can have like small, medium, large. Let's say color, that's another good one. So you have like red, blue, yellow. And this is where you can put any variants you want. And then down here we can see that we have all the variants showing up with price, quantity, and SKU. So this is where we can edit them. So let's say we only had a few. We have like 10 small red t-shirts. we would put that in there. And let's say large t-shirts cost more than small, so we could go ahead and make them like that, because large t-shirts cost more to make, so we could change that price, and we could change like how many we have of that, and we could put in our individual SKUs right there. So in this case, obviously our cookies don't have variants, so I'm not going to check this, but it wouldn't be a complete tutorial if I didn't show you how to edit these different variants. It's pretty straightforward. You can add as many different options as you want, and it's just going to add more different things to fill out down here. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck that for the sake of this video. And then lastly, we have the website SEO. So like I showed you earlier, this is what's going to show up right here. So we have the title, the meta description, and the URL, which is showing up right there. So we can see we have the title, the meta description down here, and this is the URL, and we can go ahead and edit these different things. So I'm not going to go into super in-depth of how to edit these. I do have a video on Shopify SEO, which will be added to the giant list of linked videos below, and you can check that out if you want to learn how to optimize everything perfectly for SEO. But pretty much you just want to have a title that's very clean and looks good, add a description of the product, and try and put a few keywords in here that people would use to search for your product. So with that said, that's how you add in a product. I'm going to save that, and what I'm going to do really quickly is add in 2 more products. So I'm going to click add product, and we're going to go through these really quickly. Alright, so I've added in the 3 products that we have right here. So after you went ahead and added in different products, what you want to do is go to collections, and this is where we can sort our products by different groupings. So let's say I create a collection right here, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how collections work really quickly, even though we don't really have many products to group together. I'll just create one really quick and show you. So let's say I type in collection, just going to be cookies. We can describe the collection right here, so we can just be like all of our different types of cookies right there. And then there's 2 different ways that we can populate our collection. So we can make it automated, which is definitely the easiest. So what we can do, especially if you have a lot of products, is you can have products match certain conditions. So you can have it match all conditions or just any conditions. So in this case, you saw that we added product tags earlier. So if I wanted to add all of our cookies to a cookies collection, we could do product tag is equal to cookie. So this means now that every product that's tagged with cookie is going to be in the cookies collection. And we can also do this manually. So if I went to manual and click save really quick, you could just go ahead and search through different products. So I could go ahead and browse our products and add all these cookies in, and you can do it just like that. And like that's relatively easy when there's only 3 products. But if you have like 100 products, then you kind of just want it automated, especially if you're adding new products a lot. Then you just want to make sure that you're tagging your products correctly, and then you're adding it via automations, which is definitely what I would recommend. And you can add certain collections to your menu if you want as well, which I'm not going to go over because I already showed you how to edit your menu. So now at this point, we are going to go back and finish editing the home page, and we're going to customize the checkout, the 2 things we couldn't do earlier because we didn't have any products. So we're going to come back to online store, and we are going to click on customize once again, and we are going to be returned to the past. We are back about where we were 1 hour ago, and we are going to click on featured collection, and we're going to get rid of this crap, and we are going to make it look good. So we're going to select the collection right here. So right here we can just go ahead and select which collection we want to show right here. So we just created the cookies collection, so we're going to show our cookies here. I'm going to click select, and we can see this looks kind of stupid because there's a big empty space here. So what we want to do is change this from products per row from 4 to 3, and just like that, it looks a lot better. So what we're going to do now is we can go ahead and change this heading if we want. I'll just leave it as actually let me change this as like our favorites, and then we can go ahead and click save, and we can see that now the home page actually looks legit. So we're going to come back, and I'm going to go back over here to theme settings again, and I'm going to click on checkout. And in order to actually see like what the heck we're doing on the checkout, we need to actually get to the checkout page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on one of our products real quick, and I'm going to click add to cart, and I'm going to click view cart, and then I'm going to click checkout. And now this is going to go ahead and load up our checkout page here, so that way we can actually see what we're editing. So we can add a background image. I wouldn't really mess with that. Really, all you need to do is come down here to logo, and we're just going to go ahead and put our logo in again, which is going to show up right here. And we can change the positioning of our logo. We can make it left, center, or right. In this case, I'm just going to keep it on the left. We can change our logo size from small, medium to large. I'm going to keep it at medium. Like I said, we can add a background image if we want, but I'm not going to do that. Or we can change our background color to something else, like say black. But in this case, we're just going to keep most of this the same. We're just going to add a little bit of customization, and that's it. We can keep our form fields and everything the same. We're going to keep the order summary and everything the same. The only thing we're going to do now is come down here to colors, and what we're going to do is we're going to switch our accents to the same brown that we've been using throughout our store. I'm going to change our button to the same brown that we've been using throughout our store as well, just so that way our checkout branding looks like everything else. And then that's it. So we're going to click save, and now our checkout looks good to go. So at this point, we are looking really good. We're going to go ahead and go back. I'm going to click the Shopify bag again. And at this point, we have set up the majority of our store. So there's just a couple of smaller things that I'm going to show you really quick, and we're about done. So congratulations if you made it this far without falling asleep. And if you are asleep, then at least you tried. So we're going to go ahead and come over here to discounts really quick. And I'm just going to show you how you can create discount codes. So if I click create discount code, I could put in something here like 10 off. So you can name it whatever you want, and this is something that customers would enter at checkout, and then you can make it a percentage. So I could give people 10% off their order, or I could give people like a fixed amount, which is like $10 off their order. So $10 off entire order, percentage, 10% off entire order, free shipping. So it's just a free shipping coupon, and that's it. So you could just name it free ship. Or you could have like buy one product, get another. So like buy chocolate chip cookie, get a free sugar cookie. And you can set that up right in here. So they buy like any products from a specific collection, then they get, you know, a specific product right here. It's pretty straightforward. So let's say I just wanted to set up a basic 10% off coupon off the entire order. Come down here, no minimum requirements. They can just get 10% off. And then customer eligibility, everyone. And then limit to one use per customer is pretty common. So that way people don't use the same discount code like 15 times. And then we go ahead and click save discount code. And just like that, our discount code now exists. So now that this discount is created, if you were to go ahead and go back to the cart and go through your checkout process, you could go ahead and test this out in the checkout process, putting in the 10 off code, and you would get 10% off the order. So that's how you can go ahead and create discount codes. The next thing we're going to look at here is the orders section. So this is where all of your orders will show up once you select the plan and once you start making sales here. So this is where you'll be able to see each individual order. So hopefully this page gets very full for you very quickly. And the next thing that we are going to look at here is the analytics section. So right here, this is a valuable page here. We can see a lot of different data. We can sort by dates. We can sort by today, last 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, quarter, year. There's a lot of different ways, or we can sort by specific dates. But we can see a lot of different data through here. So we can see our total sales, how many visitors we have, our returning customer rate, our total orders, our average order value, our conversion rate, how many people added to cart, reached checkout, and how many people actually bought. We can see what our top product. We can see our sales based on what source is doing the best. We can see our best landing pages. We can see sales by traffic source. There's a lot of different data we can see in here. It's really valuable. This is a really useful section that you're probably going to be checking in on multiple times a week, because looking at analytics is definitely a good way to go ahead and gain valuable data and increase your sales volume. So the next section we're going to look at here is the apps. So the App Store here, if I click visit the Shopify App Store, is essentially just a bunch of third-party applications that you can seamlessly integrate with your store that kind of give your store a little bit of certain types of enhancements or features that don't come with a base Shopify store. So there's a ton of different apps. I'm not going to go through a lot. I'm just going to recommend a few apps, 3 in particular, that pretty much everyone should use. So the first one is an email marketing app. So I would recommend Klaviyo for email marketing. So we can click on this right here. So you can use any email marketing you want. I would recommend that the point is you definitely just need an email marketing app. However, I personally prefer Klaviyo, but you can use whatever you want. The next app would be Crush.pix. And what this will do, it's right over here, Image Optimizer. What this is going to do is shrink all the picture sizes on your store, which is going to increase your page loading speed, which is going to make the process of visiting your store a lot more enjoyable for your customers, because no one wants to wait 15 seconds for a page to load, because they're just going to leave and go to a different site. So this is going to help your page load faster by shrinking the image size without ruining the image quality. And you can do this manually in Photoshop, but this is easier for people that don't have Photoshop and if you have a ton of photos. And the last app is going to be Looks Reviews. So you don't have to use Looks Reviews. You can use any review app you want, but this is the one that I like and I would recommend. And I will leave a special link to Looks Reviews in the description that will extend your free trial to 30 days instead of just 14. So if you want an extended free trial of Looks, go ahead and use the Looks link in the description down below. So those are the 3 apps that I would recommend. There's a lot more apps that you can use. I would recommend not using like 30 different apps, because it's not really necessary. It's just mental masturbation at that point. It's not really stuff that actually adds value to your store. You really only need a few apps. So the last thing that we need to do is go ahead and select a plan. So back here at our store selection, we can come down here, and then you can see we have a certain amount of time left on our trial, and we can click select a plan. So we can see that we are presented with 3 plans here. So most people are going to start out with the basic one. I would recommend this one. And the reason for that is that when you're just getting started, the main selling point of these larger plans is going to be the discounts that you get on shipping and the discounts you get on credit card rates. But if you're only making 5 sales a month, those discounts aren't going to make up for the extra money that you're spending. But once you are generating a lot of sales, then you absolutely 100% should upgrade to one of these bigger plans, because then you will be literally setting fire to money by, let's say if you have a store generating thousands each month and you're still in the basic plan, you're losing a lot of money by having this 2.9% credit card rate instead of the 2.4% processing rate. So that's 0.5% that you're losing just by not upgrading to the advanced Shopify plan. So when it comes to upgrading your plan, you're going to do that typically once you start making a lot more sales. So in the beginning, most people are going to be starting out with basic Shopify and then slowly moving up from there as you make more and more sales. So yeah, I would recommend choosing this one and getting started with that. And now to wrap up the video, I'm going to click on the eyeball one more time and we're going to just take a look at what we just created. So in a little over an hour, we've went ahead and created this site. We can see that it looks really clean, really smooth, really professional, and it's pretty much already ready for people to visit. Like if we were to have actually filled out the FAQs and the About Us section, so if you would have taken the time to fill these out properly, then you pretty much already have a fully functioning online store that is pretty much ready to go. Now there are some small things we could do, some small tweaks we could do to make it a little bit better, but I mean this is a very good base that we can use to go ahead and build upon. So I hope this video helped you out. If it did, make sure to leave it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe to this channel for more content, and I will see you in another video.